Welcome to J Play Gets Indie Games. This is The Yawhg, an interesting Lovecraftian story about an impending apocalypse and what the townsfolk do in the face of it. I don't normally like story games like this, but this is kind of an exception for a number of reasons. The primary reason actually being the music that goes with this game. I'm going to just shut up for a moment and turn up the volume a bit and let you listen. Suffice to say, the music that goes with this game provides an excellent atmosphere, and I just love it. And the art style is also fantastic. The storytelling is great and varied. Even though a single game will only take about 15 minutes to get through, there are lots and lots of endings. I don't know exactly how many. I've played several times through. I've encountered the same scenarios perhaps a couple of times, but I've never encountered anywhere near the same game. And let's start here, and I can just show you more than I can explain it. So you play as at least 2 characters on any given playthrough, and you can play as up to all of them if you wish. I'm not going to here because I don't want to ruin too much for you. I'm going to do an entire playthrough on this just to show you what it's like. A single playthrough is far from the entire game. So we're going to start as this blue woman here in the blue cap, and maybe it's a kind of a frayed nun's habit, or maybe it's just a blue cape. I'm not sure. And as this red woman here, who seems kind of upset to be there. I don't know. We're going to press start, playing as these 2 characters in The Yawhg. Loading in here. The Yawhg will be here in 6 weeks, and no one expects it. Not a one of us. We just keep on living our lives week by week, unaware. Here's the main game screen where you choose which location you want to send your character to. Whether it be you want them to be a forester who hunts in the woods, or if you want them to tend the sick in the hospital. Now, since I said that this woman was wearing a nun's habit earlier, I'm going to send her to the hospital and have her tend to the sick. You spend the week diagnosing and tending to the sick. You gain 2 mind and earn 1 wealth. So as you can see, you spend time doing any one of these things and you gain stats as a result. You can see all your stats by pressing left, and you start with 5 in everything except for wealth, which you start with none of. Your kind of mini goal is to raise your stats up enough so that when the Yawhg comes, the town can survive. That is an easy goal to accomplish, but not your true goal of the game. Your real goal in this game is just to see as many of the endings and as much of the story as possible. Losing, to me, is just as fun as winning, to be honest. After you gain your stats, a special event always occurs. One day, you hear spooky sounds echoing through the hospital. Soon afterwards, a glowing blue ghost floats down from the ceiling. She seems to be wandering the halls aimlessly, howling out horrible noises. She doesn't appear to realize that she is freaking everyone out. You decide to do something about it. So you can either vaporize this ghost with magic or talk calmly to it. Now, this is based on your stats. I don't know if this is dice roll based or more like a certain threshold in a single stat based. We're going to talk calmly to the ghost and see if our 5 charm and maybe 7 mind will help. You approach the spirit and try to explain to her the effect she is having on the sick. You're not convincing enough to be able to persuade her to stop her haunting. Eventually, everyone just gets used to her and learns to live with the creepy ghost. So that was our experience in the hospital. Let's take this red woman, and maybe we want her to be a palace administrator. You spend the week doing paperwork for the palace. You're paid 2 wealth and gain 1 mind. One day, you overhear the jester telling a joke to a group of people. Everyone laughs, but you didn't understand the joke at all. You can either ask the jester for an explanation, or try to figure it out on your own. Now, I don't think that asking for an explanation is very smart, so we're going to try to figure out the joke. Several hours later, you figure it out, and a small chuckle is had. All that thinking gave your mind a workout. You gain one mind, and maybe a sense of humor. They say the last time it came, the Yawhg devoured houses whole, stole lives, tore families and family members apart. But that was so very long ago. Alright. Well, perhaps the ghost has driven us out of the hospital, and we've decided to go into the slums. Where, as a good person, we fight crime, I suppose. So we are now Batman. Yes, we are Batman. Or Batwoman, as it were. You spend the week outsmarting and beating up criminals. You gain one mind, one physique, and one finesse. One night, a man walks up to you. "Excuse me, miss. Feeling a little lonely tonight?" he asks. "For only a small amount of coin, I can make you feel good all night." Well, this seems like a horrible plan. We don't have the wealth for it either anyway, so no thanks. Your loss. Manhooker. Gigolo. Our woman in red likes the palace and will attend a ball there, I think. You spend the week attending fancy gatherings. You gain 2 charm and 1 finesse. One day, you hear somebody shouting something in the hallway. "There's a bomb in the palace," they scream. There's a mass panic as people try desperately to escape the palace's walls. We could locate and disarm the bomb, probably dying, or we could run away. We're going to locate and disarm the bomb. You run deeper into the castle, trying to figure out where the explosives are hidden. You manage to find them in the wine cellar, disguised as barrels of wine. The bomb appears to be on a detonator that is controlled by a powerful magic. You realize immediately you won't be able to figure it out and get out of the building as quick as you can. You're almost out when the bomb goes off. It is a huge explosion that knocks you through a wall. You lose 1 physique. Well, that wasn't very good. It was on us in a heartbeat, or so the stories go. The earth shook, the air went still. So the palace is gone, and our slum child is going to head to the tavern, where she'll drink. You spend the entire week getting wasted. You gain 2 charm and 1 physique. One day, a fortune teller sets up at one of the tavern's tables. She offers to read anybody's fortune for a small sum. Everyone's fortune is the Yawhg in this game. Yes, please. What do we need money for anyway? You spend 1 wealth. The fortune teller takes your hand and begins showering you with promises of love and wealth. She doesn't really go into any detail, and the whole time you can't help but feel that this is all an act. Underwhelmed and slightly poorer, you can't help but feel like you've wasted your money. Aww. Well, we can't go into the palace because it's exploded. So, our poor court dweller might go to the gardens, where she'll meditate upon her failures. You spend the week in deep meditation. You gain 1 magic and 2 mind. One day, on your way home from the park, you come across a golden ring in the grass. I already have, well, I don't feel any need to sell anything, so I'm going to wear this ring. Upon placing the ring on your finger, orange glowing markings appear on the outside of the band. The markings unravel themselves from the ring and swirl in front of you. They form into what appears to be a fully armored ghost, radiating a beautiful orange light. The ghost turns to you and nods before walking away. The ring looks good on you. You gain 1 charm. And then the world was a howling fury, chaos, screaming, the sound of all we knew being pulled in half. Week 4. Palace still gone. Our child of the slums returns home, where she fights crime. I like the idea of her fighting crime. You spend the week outsmarting and beating up criminals. You gain 1 mind, 1 physique, and 1 finesse. One night, a small child approaches you. With his hands cupped, and outstretched toward you. He doesn't say anything, but just looks up at you, with wide eyes, waiting expectantly. I don't have any money, so I guess I will ignore him. I will say I'll give him some coin. You're also broke. You don't have a penny you could spare. How sad. Well, our woman of the gardens has decided that she wants to meditate some more and become smarter. You spend the week in deep meditation. You gain 1 magic and 2 mind. Walking past a pond one day, you see a fat little frog sitting on a lily pad. Please, miss, the frog begs. I am not a frog at all, but an enchanted prince. If you could see your way to kissing me, it would break the curse and return me to normal. Well, I could catch the frog, which seems like an excellent plan, or I could kiss him. My magic is 7, my charm is 8, my mind is 11. I don't know what would be involved in kissing a frog, but we'll try it. You bend down and kiss the frog. You feel a curious stirring, like a curse trying to break. Unfortunately, you don't seem to be magical enough, so that's what I needed, to get the job done. The frog thanks you for your efforts and hops off sadly. You wake up the next morning with a bad case of lip warts. You lose 1 charm. Aww. When it arrives this time, how will we fare? Will we once more rebuild, move on, be strong, or have we forgotten? Okay. So our slum child has become quite the warrior and decides to head to the arena and fight. She's a double wielder. I like double wielders. You spend the week fighting brutes in the arena. You gain 2 physique and 1 finesse. During a match, another warrior's weapon is knocked from their grasp. You barely manage to avoid it. With a sickening crunch, it destroys the knee of a nearby bystander. He accuses you of causing him harm by not stopping the flying weapon, presumably with your own chest. He takes you to court. Well, I have no money to settle, but I do have a bit of a brain. Perhaps that's enough to defend myself in court? You object. Holding you responsible for a stray weapon is absurd. The judge agrees and dismisses the case. You are awarded 2 wealth from the plaintiff for frivolous accusations. Excellent. I have monies now. Our garden lady decides to head to the tavern and take up a job bartending since she can no longer be in the palace. You spend the week serving drinks at the tavern. You earn 1 wealth and tips and gain 2 charm. Excellent. One day an impromptu drinking contest is held. Perhaps not. Our physique is rather low and I assume that's what's necessary here. So we're just going to spectate. As you watch from afar, people down pint after pint, making complete fools of themselves. You feel a little better about not entering. You gain 1 mind. Excellent. The Yawhg. It's almost here. Almost. Almost. Week 6. Our physique is our highest asset. Our mind is second. We have some finesse. Perhaps we'll continue in the arena. Perhaps we'll continue fighting in this last week. You spend the week fighting brutes in the arena. You gain 2 physique and 1 finesse. One day, while wandering the halls, one of the arena's fighters approaches you. Excuse me, miss. I need a sparring partner. Are you down for a fight or 2? I can either accept his challenge or refer him to someone else. Of course I'll accept. Let's do this, he screams. He takes a swing at your head. You punch his fist as it is coming towards you. You can hear the bones in the fighter's hand crack. He runs away, whimpering. That was pretty cool. You gain 1 charm. Excellent. And we will spend our last week... What are we good at? We have 12 mind and 9 charm. We will spend our last week in the tavern bartending. You spend the week serving drinks at the tavern. You earn 1 wealth and gain 2 charm. One day, the tavern throws its annual dart tournament. I can either enter or spectate. I don't know what this would require. Probably finesse or physique. I'm just going to spectate, though. This woman doesn't play darts. You watch the tournament from the sidelines, analyzing throwing techniques. You gain 1 finesse. Interesting. The storm arrives in the night. By the morning, it still rages. For 3 full days, the tempest puts us through a grinder, drowns us, crushes us, ruins us. But then it ends. We see the graveyard our home has become. Our home. Does anything yet live? Is it? Are we past saving? So, here's where we choose a role after the storm, after the Yawhg, after the apocalypse. I can press left and see what we're good at. We have high physique, medium finesse in mind, some charm. What would we be good at? I think we'd be a builder. You take it upon yourself to help rebuild the town by hand. You rebuild homes at breakneck speed, impressing the rest of the survivors. This helps the rebuilding effort significantly. Excellent. Wonderful. And our other person has fair mind and fair charm. Those seems like those are perhaps the attributes of a leader. You take it upon yourself to be the leader of the survivors. You effectively delegate and prioritize tasks. You give a lot of pats on the back, rewarding everyone's hard work. This helps the rebuilding effort a lot. So what happens? And so, we set about our tasks, once more living our lives, this time in a way that we might never have expected or even wanted. But in the end, it was a struggle, but a struggle we never abandoned. Though our home had been stripped apart, we did not let it languish, and whether we succeed or fail, we did our best. Who knows if the Yawhg will visit us again? Who knows if we will ever be, can ever be, ready for it? So, we're not devastated, and things aren't wonderful. It's perhaps a bit in between. Alright. This is a cool picture. But moving on. I know there's more to the ending than this, because I've seen an ending before. This will fade away soon. There we go. That lingered a bit longer than it usually does. The Yawhg traumatized you deeply. Despite everything starting to be okay now, something in you snapped. Maybe it was witnessing a baby floating face down in the water. Maybe it was when you found a man skewered on a fence, still squirming slightly, his eyes an empty void. Graphic, yes. Perhaps it was when you saw a group of kids that were trapped in the school, had resorted to eating their own rotting corpse's teacher's corpse. Whatever it is, you can't help but drink. You drink so much, you're not entirely sure what is real and what's an illusion. One day, you look into a mirror and your eyes are empty, hollow. That's a horrible thing. While the town is being rebuilt, you go back to meditating in the park. You spend weeks at a time sitting in one spot, trying to cross into another plane of existence. After years of attempts and self-sacrifice, you finally manage to cross over to the astral realm. You come to find that the astral realm is exactly like the normal world, except everyone's eyes are slightly smaller. You don't know how to get back home. Okay. Art and writing by Emily Carroll. Programming, design, and writing by Damian Summer. Game made by 2 people. These 2 here, excellent musicians though. Special thanks. Alright guys, this has been the Yawhg. I hope this interests you in the game. It is a bit expensive. The price point's $10 for a very short game. But honestly, I like it, and I think it's worth the asking price. So, do what you want to do. Thanks for watching.